Meeting of the Agenda Setting Committee to order. First business is approval of the agenda. Angela, it's just you and I.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the agenda.
I second that. Any discussion?
No.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
So it's 2-0, Robin. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'm assuming we have no public comments.
No public comments.
Okay. The next order of business is approval of the February 21st meeting minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the February 21st, 2022 committee meeting minutes.
Okay, I second that. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
2-0.
Okay, get the agenda.
The next thing is setting the agenda for March 15th.
Right now, there seems to be just legal update with just 2 pending matters.
I have additional items.
Okay.
I've got 3 items out of operations. There's a Bluffton High School Athletic Edition. There is Hilton Head Island Middle School renovation. And there is Beaufort Middle School Athletic and Technology Infrastructure.
For middle school.
Athletics and Technology Infrastructure.
Use the right lane to turn onto Brickyard Road.
Okay. And these are contract?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Structure. Okay, I'm not spelling. Can't see.
That word is just not cooperating.
It's not. Sorry. I'll get it if you want to keep moving on.
Are they amendments? Are they amendments to contracts or new contracts?
They might be amendments to
Wendy,
contracts.
I think, Wendy, I think these are amendments.
Okay, thanks. I'll get with Robert. No worries.
All right. So when we do the formal agenda, then we should put amendments, contract amendments.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that, Wendy, right? That
Yes, sir. Mhm. Yes.
say the right thing.
So do we need to start at 4:30 or 5 o'clock?
Wendy,
I think
Wendy, how are you?
4:30. I think 4:30 just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Okay. And I think we can anticipate a question on who is going to be giving the legal advice.
Yes. And Mr. Matthews will update on the Smith case. So Mr. Smith will need to recuse himself, and then Mr. Duff will be discussing the case he's handling for us on Patel. So Mr. Matthews will go first. He'll be via Zoom, and I think Mr. Duff will be in person.
Okay.
There might be one other legal claim, but if there is, it'll be very brief, and I can do it myself.
Mhm.
Okay, I just, that question's coming, so. Okay, 6 call to order, public session, and And I'm not even looking at the top part, Rob, because I just trust all that stuff at the top. You're gonna make sure
March
that's.
15th and March 16th.
Mhm.
Okay, points of celebration. Doesn't look like that's gonna take a lot of time.
No.
Public comments, chairman report. Yeah, I'll do that reminder one more time.
Okay.
This will be the last time I have to do that.
The only committee meeting between is the operations committee meeting. So that's the only committee meeting we have before the next board meeting.
And have we had that yet, or is that yet to come?
It's on the 9th.
Okay. I only asked that because I was wondering if there was something big coming out of that.
What they're doing for operation, there's going to be 2 operation committee meetings. So on the 9th, it'll be just facilities and constructions update. And then on the 21st, it'll deal with ARs, HR, and so forth.
Okay, so this operations update will include the construction update.
Correct.
Okay. I'm just trying to get a feel for the time.
Yes.
All right. Okay, then all this is kind of standard. Anything else, Frank, other than anything in student achievement or?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now. I
Okay.
can.
Perfect. Yes, actually, for student achievement, I need a placeholder there. Mary and I are still working on the topic and the title, but it's instructionally related, so it will fit under student achievement. But I don't, so I just need a placeholder there, and I can get the specific title to Robin.
Okay. And then under highly qualified teachers and administrators, we had a request for an update on the teacher visa program and the problems.
Yep.
Remember that one?
Yep. We can place that there.
Yeah, so we can put that under highly qualified because there's nothing confidential about that, right? Am I right, Wendy?
Right.
I don't think there's anything confidential on that.
Right. Because it's an executed contract, so it's public knowledge.
That's right.
So what is it called? Teacher visa
Program
update program?
Problems.
Teacher visa program problems?
Problems update.
Okay.
That may be problem.
That could be a problem.
Or just program update.
Yeah, I mean, we could put that, but problem was mentioned the last time, and the request was
Oh, okay.
for problems that were, alluded to in executive session. So, yeah, let's do it. And that way, we can keep the conversation focused on that particular issue and not review the entire visa program.
Was there one problem or several?
I thought there was just one, but
Okay.
if there's more than one.
I think I know what the issue is. I can wordsmith it with Robin if you like to just keep it focused on that issue.
Okay, yeah, it's whatever,
Good idea.
thing we got a heads up on already.
Correct.
Okay. And then the COVID update, which hopefully is getting smaller and smaller.
It is. I have a question. How long do we want to keep that going?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I say
Maybe-
stop it.
Yeah,
Stop it
maybe
now.
Yeah, maybe this could be the last one.
Okay.
Mr. Smith?
Well, I do have a concern if we stop it because also in a minute we're going to have spring break and kids are going to begin to travel. So that's going to bring some questioning, and I would probably push it off until after spring break until I believe that will give us time to be more in the clear, definitely out of the red.
All right, so we'll revisit it the next agenda setting meeting.
All right, yes sir, no problem.
Yeah, so don't put last on the agenda. Don't put last update on the agenda.
Next
Okay.
is
No board business action. Okay, let's go to the loose ends then.
let's see.
Kathy has joined us. I see.
You guys are speedy.
The last things that came out of the meeting was to revisit the policy on Mascot, the nepotism, AR violation, ESSER funds, and a look at the program. I believe he said Aberdale, Earl, but it was Earl's.
I think he meant Abbeville.
No, that's Wilson.
It's what?
Wilson.
It's Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Wilson.
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 Okay.
Yeah, I went to that session at the school board meeting.
I'll correct it in minutes and I'll correct it there. Okay.
Okay, and there's another one that Ms. Boatwright communicated to us, an update on the progress of the efficiency study.
Yeah, and basically an updated org chart and just sort of who's doing what in the district at this point.
I think you'll get the updated org chart tomorrow.
Excellent. And then I do have just a question, like if the arts coordinator, what exactly is the scope of that? Not because I'm challenging it, I'm just curious, like for my own information, what the job description is.
So I'm putting, this is Wilson. Said update on job description.
Now, update on progress of the efficiency study.
Right.
All right, so working backwards from that one. Frank, when would be a good time to do that update?
Oh, we can actually throw that in there during this meeting.
Okay,
I'd put that under the highly qualified.
okay.
So there.
Yep. That's good. All right, so.
Thank you.
Okay. Earl, I'm looking to you to expand on.
Yeah, I will try to contact them this week.
Oh, okay.
And then I should have something by time for the meeting.
So Earl follow up on that.
Yeah.
William's hands up.
Yep, I see that.
Okay.
All right, William Smith.
I had two questions. Or the first one was in terms of, I heard you say that we probably will get an update on the aura chart, but I think that the public would definitely like to know that as well, because I've definitely had people who have asked me that. So I think that possibly, if we could get that, even if we get that in Dr. Rodriguez's update, I think that will be something that will be good, so that the public can also understand it and get that as well.
Okay, well, that's part of the update on the efficiency study, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for telling me that.
Yeah, I was just mentioning to Ingrid that the org chart should be out on email tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, sir. And then also the policy on the mascot. Where are we going to put that at?
Dr. Rodriguez, well, I want to reword that to update on the, because it wasn't the mascot. The mascot hasn't changed, so.
Logo.
The logo.
The logo.
So I think that should say update on the logo issue. Is that okay with you, Mr. Smith?
I think it's kind of a gray area, but I think it would be slash the mascot, because in one instant it has. So that's a conversation that needs to take place publicly, because to some degree it has changed. So I mean, just. So that's a concern of mine. I think that, I don't want to be, if we didn't say that, to talk about the mascot. If it doesn't say mascot, then we can't discuss that. So if because it doesn't say that and we can't discuss that, then I would definitely have a concern with it not saying mascot.
All right, we could say logo / mascot, and then when Frank gives the update, he can say the mascot hasn't changed.
Right.
Right. I'm good with that. Thank you.
Okay. So Frank, I'm looking to you. When would be when is there some progress to report?
Well, I mean, I can just provide, an update on where we are since that last meeting, or what's taken place or what's transpired since that last meeting.
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Can you can do that this week?
Yes,
the
sir.
15th?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. Let's put it on the agenda for the 15th then. Well, it's
Where does
still
it
hot.
go? Other matters?
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, we probably should say BHS logo mascot issue.
Yeah.
So we don't spill over into any other schools that might not like their picture. Okay. That's great, Frank, that you can give an update. That's really great. Mr. Smith?
My question is, we put it under other matters, just in case that we have people at the meeting waiting. Well, I'll just leave that alone. I was going to say, can we put it? That's fine. I'll leave it. No, don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. See what else we can clear off that loose ends item or loose ends list.
ESSER funds possible use for COVID bonuses,
I
the
think
AR.
I think the ESSER fund possible use in COVID bonuses is an
Work
issue,
session.
budget work session, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Angela, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Okay, put budget work session there then.
Nepotism, AR violation.
Can we put that on? I raised my hand, but can that go on this month because it's going to be an issue because of hiring?
So would we be taking that to operations? I'll need to discuss with Ms. Walt because I think nepotism is an HR, AR,
It
isn't
is.
it? So what was
I'm
the
asking
issue, Ms. Bower? I'll speak with you separately about this so I can make
Okay.
sure we make a correction that needs to be taken care of.
Well, we
Well,
should put
it's
it,
going to be the board's going to have to decide if they find it in violation of policy.
Has Operations Committee already looked at this?
No.
Should we go to Operations Committee first?
I don't think so, in my opinion, because I'm sorry. Maybe Mr. Stringer wants to call on me. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Okay. Because I think it's something that the whole board needs to discuss. Because we're not really supposed to venture into ARs unless it's a board-wide policy. So it's not sort of a let's get an update and find out what it's about. It's more like here's where I think there's a policy violation and see if the board agrees with me.
Well, we should correct it if there's a violation.
Well,
Yeah.
the only thing it's basically the part that I'm objecting to is that teachers cannot work in the same building.
Teachers that are related, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Sorry, right. Yeah.
Oh.
Teachers can work in the same building.
I know.
Teachers that are related can't work in the same building. Which is quite a bit further than the state or other districts go. And it's causing a lot of problems for my constituents. And I think it's unnecessary. And my premise is that it violates the policy of hiring the best people for the job.
I think that this needs to be discussed at a board meeting, or versus because we're kind of just getting into the detail of it right now. I think.
Yeah, no, I just wanted people to know where I was coming from. So as far as
Yeah.
I think it should go, I agree, Mr. Smith. I think it should be a full board, not an operations committee.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to clarify if I'm supposed to do something ahead of the meeting. That's all.
I think Mr. Smith's point is we shouldn't be discussing it here.
Right.
Here, right.
I was just trying to clarify.
Well, I understood Mr. Smith correctly. He was saying, let's not discuss it here because it's just setting an agenda. I don't
He's
think
100% right.
Yeah. It sure seems to me like it should go through operations and Wendy should make a call on it, but I'll look to Ingrid and Kathy on that one.
I think it should go to Operations first, and then they bring it, they vet it, and then they can just say, okay, it needs to go to the full board. But I do think Operation I should be on it first. And maybe policy. There are two committees that are involved here, Policy Committee and Operations, apparently.
Operations will meet on on March 21st for this, and then policy would meet on the 31st.
And that's fair enough, but I just want you to know it'll have an impact if it doesn't get done sooner than that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Angela, what do you think?
Operations Committee first.
Okay. All right. So we'll put Operations Committee.
Mr. Smith's hands back up.
Yep, I see that.
Oh.
Okay.
So this will go to operations first. I think that is it. That's it.
Okay. So are we all satisfied with where we are? Angela, are you okay with where we are?
Yes, sir.
And Kathy?
Yes.
Okay. So the next, okay.
Are you, Gary, go on to another agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I want to put up the SIC agenda for the 10th.
Thank you.
Hold on 1 second, stop sharing.
I'm gonna have to change to my mobile phone.
Okay. You want to see the agenda? So added on here for Mr. Strivenger, the ISD wants about 20 minutes to do the strategic draft goals for the SICs because they have to get input. And as opposed to calling a separate meeting, they're asking if Nick is asking if he can make the presentation, make a presentation at this meeting, and then they'll be given a link to answer the questions.
It makes sense to me. Angela?
Repeat that again, Robin.
So ISD is for part of our strategic plan, they have to show, get input from the SICs on the draft goals. So they're asking that since we're having this meeting, if they can make the presentation at our joint meeting, and then there will be a link given to them for them to answer questions or give their feedback. But this would be about a 20-minute presentation.
Okay. Thank you.
You all right with that, Kathy?
Well, this is my concern. I think it makes sense. It's a good time to do it. But I received a call today from someone who, an SIC chair, who said she didn't receive the agenda, didn't receive the information. And she said, this is the same thing that happened with the December meeting. And so I referred her to Kristen Casper, and I'm just concerned, you know, if you remember our December meeting, we didn't have many SIC people actually there. We had administrators and some teachers, but really that was one of our disappointments.
So SIC people can be teachers, is what Kristen told me. So SIC people are they're teachers, and then the community is appointed by the principal. And if the SIC chair can't be there, then they're supposed to have someone else come in their place who is on the SIC. But their SIC members can be teachers.
Well, I know that the SICs do have teachers on them, but I think that I would like, I don't know, I just feel like we need to make sure that the community members and the parents who are on those committees know about these meetings. So.
I think that's the second bullet point under group discussions.
Okay.
Because I agree with you, Kathy. It seems to me that there's a lot of administratives, people with principals and vice principals there, and not very many community people. So maybe that would be a discussion on how we can make these meetings more valuable.
So if we do the presentation of the strategic draft goals for the strategic plan, will that be recorded, or will the information be available to SIC members before they have to give feedback that aren't at this meeting?
I can ask Kristen. I mean, I don't know.
Because to me, that would be important.
Yeah, I think the right answer to Kathy's question is yes. They will.
She's saying before they get feedback, the feedback might be happening at the meeting. So that's why I can't say that yes, because only 3 people are invited to the meeting because the whole SIC is not invited to the meeting. So.
But I thought you said there was going to be a survey after or something. So
there is going to be a survey, and how it's disseminated. That's how I can ask Kristen how it's disseminated so that it would be available to everyone. That's the information I would find out, how it will be disseminated.
Okay.
Got it. You got it, Robin.
Yeah.
You got the issue nailed. Mr. Smith?
I was going to say that I agree with Mrs. With Mrs. Robine. I also, and however, I am concerned that that one person or 2 people are representing the SIC, and for to give a strategic 20-minute presentation, that for it to be meaningful, that I feel that with only 1 or 2 people from every SIC, that we're possibly counting out people who could possibly would need to be available to give feedback. And I think that, and I don't think, I'm not sure how effective that is, and that do bring me some concern. Because if it's that important that we get the feedback, then I believe we can catch more with all of them versus 1 or 2 people. So that is a concern of mine.
That would be a discussion we would have to have with the chair of the SIC, right?
Yep.
This is their meeting, and if that's the way they choose to do it. And again, I think that's a good discussion point, Will, because we'd all like to see more people at these.
I was talking about in terms of us agreeing to allow them to do it at this meeting versus an actual meeting that the ISD basically create for them to be able to do that. I think that would be more. It'd be more feasible for them to meet with the IS. I mean, with the
Separate meeting.
Yeah, I think it would be. Yeah, I think it would be more effective in a separate meeting versus the meeting that we have scheduled. I think that will limit it to them who can participate versus the SIC doing it on their own, along with the SID. I mean, along with what other acronym is. Excuse me.
All right, Ms. Boatright.
Yeah, I mean, how we do it. The thing that concerns me is what Ms. Casper just said about the SIC doesn't line up with my understanding of an SIC. And I just kind of quickly looked up, I mean, parents elect their own SIC representatives. Students are supposed to, there's a whole process here. And I wonder, my experience on SICs on Hilton Head is that they are wildly different. It doesn't seem like it almost seems like if we're going to have all these meetings and start getting all this input, I don't know. I feel confused as to who actually represents the SIC, whose meeting it is. I just feel like there are more fundamental questions that we have before, and maybe it's not a board issue. Maybe it's a school issue. But I know principals do not, we don't appoint SIC meetings, SIC members.
That's an SIC issue, I believe. And your question of whose meeting it is, it's their meeting. I've tried to stress that through.
So I picked up on it for sure.
Yeah, it's their meeting, and that's the point about let's make these more valuable. It's their meeting. I think the agendas in the last couple of times, the agendas have been dominated by a few people. I'm not sure that's a good thing. But yeah, the SICs, I'm not sure how we tell them that we'd rather they do things differently, In fact, I don't think we can tell them that, but I agree with you. It seems murky. So, Angela, Kathy, should we remove this presentation or leave it on?
I say leave it on and just tell the people that are there that they will have access to it to share with their entire, with other people if they, or ask them if they would like an additional presentation to review the whole thing. I don't know. I think that might be the way to go.
Sounds good. Angela?
This is Frank. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let Angela chip in here.
I don't know. I don't know what to say because I think and Ingrid brought this up before, there's the organization of this meeting is so confusing. In this whole there needs to be a new plan for the SICs to meet with the board. There needs to be a different plan because it didn't work out the first time I attended, and I didn't get to attend the second time, and it just seems so disjointed. So I don't know if that presentation should stay, and if it does stay on the agenda, then it's going to be recorded, so all other members can go back on the county channel, on the YouTube channel, and take a look at it. But we need to reorganize this meeting, or have whomever is in charge of it to come up with a better plan.
I don't think you'll get any disagreement on that, Angela. And that is the whole intent of that second bullet point under group discussions.
Because I detected the frustration. I watched the last meeting and I detected the frustration. People just were not into it.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree. I think we all agree that it's not really producing anything of value.
No.
It's like we're like going through the motions. We're not really getting any value out of it. So that's that whole second bullet point.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Boatwright?
Sorry, I couldn't unmute. Is my hand still up? I apologize.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
All right. I'm not sure whether.
Did Dr.
I think Kathy's idea is a really good one. Leave it on there and then ask if they need more explanation, or if they'd like more explanation. And then if they say they would, then it's up to Mr. Flowers to arrange that. But we definitely have to get, somebody asked, well, Robin's going to take care of getting this stuff out ahead of time. Mr. Smith?
It's been sent out, so we can send it out again.
It's been sent out. Kristen sent it out to everybody?
She has sent, this is the second version she sent out with the potential of them having, being updated. She went out on Friday with, with the strategic plan on it. The first one went out with just the question, the two questions. So she sent this one up as a draft with the potential of it being on.
Okay, but did they get the draft? Did she send out the draft?
Sent it out as a draft to tell them what they need to do and stuff. So this will be their.
All right, so
I'll send this out as a final, that you all blessed it, and then this would be the final agenda.
All right. And will we be attaching the draft goals like we do in board docs?
They don't. I'll ask. Yes, I'll get that information and put it in board docs.
Okay, yeah, because I think that's the point.
Yes.
Everybody wants to have access to those draft goals ahead of time. Okay, Mr. Smith.
I don't think I was going to say that I agree with what Mrs. With what Mrs. Robine said. I agree to go ahead and put it on there and ask that question. I think that will satisfy everyone, and that's basically that will satisfy everyone. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I think we have settled that issue. Thank you, Kathy. Then we go to the group discussions, and this is what I've been alluding to. How can we make these meetings more valuable to you? Well, the first one is you want to keep having them. I really hope they say yes. And then the second one is, well, how do we make them valuable? And that should be an open discussion. Now, there was a question as to why we would still have the breakout groups. And my feeling on that is that when you have breakout groups, more people participate. When you have it in one big group, you have more limited participation in the same time period. So I think that's the way to go, and I'll defer to Kathy and Angela if you think that should be different.
No, I think your point about participation is well taken.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree.
Angela, you're okay with that?
I agree. I'm okay with it.
All right. And then they come back and we give the group reports. And it would really be good if someone from the SIC could give the report. It seems like it always defaults to a board member.
Well, technically, it should be a board member and an SIC. And
Together.
within the groups, the board member and the SIC determine who's going to report and who's going to report out. So it should be one of each in each of the groups to report out. Didn't have to be a board member reporting out. And we've had sometimes when it has been an SIC reporting out. So.
All right. So that's under that same bullet. And then future topics and format, which I'm assuming there'll be a change probably to the format and probably to the topics also, but we'll see. That'll be kind of summing up what we learned in those group discussions. All right. Anything else on this one?
No.
No. Okay.
We need to set a date to set the work session agenda.
Now, I do have a question on when Mr. Nurick is coming on the 25th to discuss debt. Is that a work session?
Yes, the 25th is the 25th was originally scheduled for a half a day, but we keep moving things to the work session. So the 25th has become a full day work session.
Okay. Okay, good. I just want to make sure I had a clear picture because I thought that was a good idea.
Yes. So it was a budget work session day. So the topics that I have already from Tanya is debt management, TIF update, budget update, teacher salaries, 8% project discussion, procurement code review. Then I also have BC, the website preview. So those are the agenda topics that I have so far for the work session. Not to mention the other things on the future topic list that we put down as spring work session.
So it sounds like we should bring a cot. Or go into a second day. We'll decide that. Okay. But right now we just need to have a date to look at that agenda. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes. I don't know are you all available on the 14th to do it?
I am.
It's Monday, the 14th.
I am.
I can do it.
Okay.
Same time?
5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yes. I may be a few minutes late, but I'll be there.
Okay. And then our next meeting after that would be the 28th to set the April 5th meeting.
Yep, already got that one down, yeah. All right.
Okay.
I think we are done.
That's all I have. If anybody else has any.
Thank you, Robin. Okay, nothing from Angela, nothing from Kathy, nothing from me. So
Okay.
I think we're ready to adjourn.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.